Hello to all my friends and family, and welcome to Jim's 5am Club. As you can see, it's Tuesday today, Tuesday lunchtime, and Circular Quay is starting to get its mojo back. Look at all these people out here enjoying the autumn sun, and I look around and I say to myself, things are slowly but surely getting back to normal. The wind has changed and now it's an easterly. This morning it was a westerly, I recall, and this breeze here from the east will keep the skies clear and fresh, and the temperatures are quite moderate. Anyway, let's go on a walk and talk. What I want to do today is cover a book summary, and the book summary is entitled Loving What Is. Loving What Is, and the author has an interesting name, an awesome name, Byron Katie. Byron Katie. Loving What Is by Byron Katie. And I realised late in the piece that Byron is actually a female and not a male. So a powerful name for a woman, a name which I love, a Greek name, Viron. But an interesting name, an interesting person, and an interesting book. So Byron kicks off with a quote, and the quote from her book is, "I am a lover of what is, not because I'm a spiritual person, but because it hurts when I argue with reality." What an interesting perspective that is. So it's an interesting lesson in life, I think, for each and every one of us. Because on the one hand, we've got a perspective, we've got hopes and dreams, and then on the other hand, we've got life delivering us reality, which doesn't always marry up with our dreams and our mind's view of how we'd like to see the world. But the author here says something really interesting, sorry, I just got a message from my share broker, so I just got distracted for a moment. That massive change happens in a heartbeat. So regardless of what our dreams and hopes are, whatever you want to achieve, whatever you want to do in your life, you can change in an instant. You can fall in love in a heartbeat. And similarly, you can fall out of love in a heartbeat as well. And there are things that may not be obvious to each and every one of us, but things just happen. And they happen either consciously or subconsciously. You've got power over them, or you may not have power over the things that happen in our lives. But this author is all about bringing about the balance between reality and what we'd like in our lives. And her first formal point, which comes out of this book, is where she says we need to ask ourselves 4 simple questions to overcome stress by changing our perspective. Not only just changing our perspective, because I don't like the word change. The better word, the more powerful, empowering word to use is by improving our perspective. So rather than talk about change, you're better off sometimes talking about the improvements which comes with having different beliefs or different actions. The author here reminds us that the use of language is key, because the wrong language, if you're using the wrong language, it's fatal. It has a fatal flaw, and what we mustn't do is use the wrong words in the wrong context because it shapes our reality and it shapes the taste that we get of our own lives. The author also reminds us that it's critical that we don't delegate. We don't delegate responsibility to others or outside events for our life. Because when you delegate your responsibility and your accountability, then you've got no control over it. And it's not enough, it's not good enough to come back weeks later or years later and blame your parents, blame your teachers, blame your husband, your wife, your parents, your grandparents, to blame anybody else. Because at the end of the day, your life is your gift, and it's your responsibility and your accountability, which you need to fight. You need to fight for that responsibility and that accountability on a daily basis, and not delegate it to any other person or any outside events. And the author then goes on to talk about something else which is really powerful, that our interpretation, I love the way she puts this, our interpretation on what is going on is what causes us our stress. So our interpretation, our reading, our feeling about what is going on is based on the language that we use and the stories that we say about the things that are occurring in our lives. So if you change your interpretation, if you change the stories that you're saying about what's going on, you're also going to change the outcome. Anyway, an interesting outlook. So this book is all about adopting a more responsible position in our lives, and to understand that the way we see things, or the way we choose to see things, is our reality. And we've got lots of forces working with us and working against us. We've got friends who are working with us, trying to shape our reality, to colour our reality, and to make it as purposeful and as wonderful as possible. But we mustn't forget that there are also people out there who are competing in the same space, who are trying to shape their realities by altering our reality. So be on guard, I guess, is the best sort of advice which is coming from this author, to make sure that you don't have other people discolouring your reality or tainting it or tinting it with their colour. Because different people have different perspectives, and other people who don't have our interests at heart and have their own interests or their children's interests or their business interests at their as their primary sort of driver, won't see the world, won't see reality in the same way that we see it. So once again, the key message from the author is to take responsibility for what is yours, and to make sure that you shape it in a way which is going to serve you. And hopefully you can be smart enough to shape your reality to serve you, and also to serve those around you, by being a reasonable and a decent role model. Because one of the things that we should all be striving for is to be a great role model or a great ancestor for those who come after us. You know, I guess one of the dreams that we all have is to grow up, get married, stay married, have children, be part of the children's life. So invest in their welfare, in their growing up. So being part of rearing and raising a family, and looking further down the track, hopefully those children can find their partners and they can raise their families, and that you can also be part of that dream as well. But life has a way of not always allowing each and every one of us to have the full spectrum of the recipe, or of the masterpiece, one can say, and we only get snippets or portions of it. So to live a long life, to be healthy, to have family, to have children, to have grandchildren, is an absolute blessing. And all I can say is that I just wish and pray that each and every one of us can experience the full spectrum of family life in their family life, or in their lifetime. But thank you very much for joining me on this episode of Jim's 5am Club. Let's finish off with a positive affirmation. I'm alive, I am well, and I feel absolutely great. I'm on wharf number 6. I've got the Yvonne Goolagong ferry in front of me, and it's a wonderful autumn day on this Tuesday here in Sydney. So I'll finish up now, and I look forward to coming to you again later on in the day with another book summary, another message of empowerment, where we can be the wind beneath our wings, where we can live, learn and pass it on. And as I've said time and time again, I encourage everybody, including children, to learn and to pick up the habit and the hobby of vlogging. It's a great way of passing your time. You can invest half an hour of your day to putting together a little video. You can upload it to YouTube free of charge, and it's stored there forever. You can upload it to Facebook and put it on private, or you can share it with family and friends. But it's a way of learning how to express yourself, how to experience your world, and to pass on those experiences to those around you. And it's a way of being creative. Anybody who is interested, I welcome you to private message me and ask me for any tips, or the lessons that I've learned. As I say, I'm going to be cranking out 1,000 vlogs over the next, getting to that 1,000 vlog milestone over the next month or so. And there's a lot of lessons that I've picked up along the way. But I am absolutely confident, I'm absolutely comfortable with what I'm doing now. It was hard in the beginning, but with each vlog, with each episode, it just gets easier and easier. I'm not saying I'm becoming better at it or more interesting at it, but from my perspective, my job is not to judge my performance, but just to deliver content and to enjoy the process. Anyway, take care. Yasas, Getaleme. Bye for now.